After seeing that looking at Professor McGonagall's much better expression, he thought of what he had discovered, put away his smile, and said in contemplation, "Minerva, I think I must tell you something I discovered about Mr. Skylar Weasley." Professor McGonagall frowned and asked in doubt what is wrong with him. The blue eyes under Dumbledore's half-moon-shaped lenses flashed, and he said slightly solemnly, "I found a small problem with Mr. Skylar. There is a special smell of dark magic on him, although it is very faint and seems to be fading slowly. I think I remember what that smell is." At this point, a trace of reminiscence and grief showed in Dumbledore's agile eyes. "That is right, it is the smell of an obscurus." Professor McGonagall was suddenly startled. This old woman, who usually had a cold and serious expression, almost screamed. How could it be? Skylar was born into the pure-blood Weasley family. His family is harmonious and loving, and Mary doted on him. How could it be an obscurus? Dumbledore was silent. Actually, he didn't know why either, but an obscurus couldn't have appeared for no reason, so after thinking for a moment he gave his guess. Could it be because of the death of Ms. Mary Weasley and the curse? Professor McGonagall was silent for a moment. Seeing the atmosphere turn cold, Dumbledore stood up and clapped his hands, saying, "Minerva, I think the situation isn't at its worst yet. That child is very special. His heart is no worse than that of a normal adult, and he seems to be a born occlumency. I think as long as we teach him well, he will become a miracle." Seeing that, he paused again, blinked his bright blue eyes, and said, "Besides, don't we still have Newt? I think we just need to pay more attention to this child after he enrolls." After hearing this, Professor McGonagall relaxed, and a slight smile appeared on her face. "Yes, and Mr. Scamander, but this child has suffered too much." At the entrance of Diagon Alley at the Leaky Cauldron, a dirty and narrow pub like a leaky cauldron, there were some men and women who looked rather abnormal sitting inside, mostly elderly. They wore very small hats on their heads, looking very funny. They chatted with each other and drank a little sherry from time to time. A green flame rose from the fireplace. Skylar and Dobby swept the ashes and came out of it. "Oh, it is Mr. Weasley of ours. Glad to have you here." The bald old bartender Tom in the pub bar put down the wine glass in his hand and waved with a smile. "Hello, and nice to see you too, Mr. Tom, and ladies and gentlemen." Skylar maintained the etiquette of a noble and saluted those who looked at them. "Everyone, I am going to Diagon Alley again. Excuse me first, Mr. Tom, is it still the same as before?" Seeing Tom nod, Skylar followed Dobby into the backyard. They knocked 3 times on a stone brick that was 3 blocks up from a trash can, and then 2 blocks across the 2 passed through the arch that emerged from the squirming brick wall and entered Diagon Alley. This is a street paved with cobblestones. The street winds forward until it disappears from sight. On both sides of the street, all kinds of novelty shops stand in rows. There are everything from bookstores, pharmacies, clothing stores to pet stores. No matter how interesting the words are, they can't describe the scene here, the magical world. However, Skylar and Dobby had a clear goal. They walked in the crowd and went straight to Ollivanders' wand shop, located in a narrow alley in Diagon Alley. The erosion of years has made the sign of this shop look somewhat mottled, and even the gold characters on it have fallen off, but if you look carefully you can still clearly see the content written. "Ollivander Fine Wand Maker since 32 BC. In the dusty window display there was only one wand placed on a faded purple cushion. When they stepped into the shop, a clear bell rang somewhere in the shop. This was a very small place with nothing but a chair. Skylar sat on the chair and looked at hundreds and thousands of small boxes that almost reached the ceiling. Dobby was standing beside him. "Good afternoon, Mr. Skylar Weasley." An old man stood in front of them, his big blue eyes shone through the dimness of the small shop, and he said in a gentle voice, "Hello, Emma Ollivander. I think I need you to help me choose the most suitable wand. Sure, every little wizard who comes here during the summer vacation is to find the most suitable wand for themselves." Ollivander was rather proud of this. His wand shop was the only and the best wand shop in Diagon Alley and even the entire British Isles. "Child, which arm are you used to waving the wand with?" Ollivander rolled up his cuffs and then picked up the ruler in the corner. "Right hand, sir." Skylar voluntarily extended his arm to facilitate the measurement. "Okay, Emma." "Skylar, let us start." Ollivander skillfully pulled out the tape measure and began to measure. At the same time, he didn't forget to promote his wand philosophy. Actually, many people think that it is the wizard who chooses the wand, but on the contrary, it is always the wand that chooses the wizard. Regarding this topic, Skylar remained non-committal, but he thought that one should respect the words of professionals, just like when he faced Dumbledore: speak less and listen more. At this moment, it is just like that moment before. Ollivander's wand shop. In the narrow room, an old man with silvery hair was busy at the moment, but this did not disturb his enthusiasm for chatting. "Mr. Skylar, I still remember your family tradition. Mostly, the wand cores are made of shadow crow feathers, and the wand woods are mainly ebony. Of course, occasionally, there are outliers with wand cores such as phoenix feathers, thestral hair, and dragon nerves." After saying that, he climbed down the ladder, walked towards Skylar, opened a small box, took out the wand and handed it over, saying, 10 inches, shadow crow feather, ebony. As soon as Skylar reached out to take it, it was taken away by Ollivander. "It seems you are not a lad who follows traditions. Come, let me have a look again. Oh, try this one." Skylar received another brown wand from Ollivander's hand, but when he waved it, there was no effect. Ollivander quickly snatched it away and replaced it with another one. "Elderwood, phoenix feather, 13.5 inches. This time it had an effect, but Skylar directly blew up the counter, which gave him a big fright. "I like unconventional little guys. It's very challenging." Ollivander ran to the depths, climbed to the top, and fetched another wand, saying with a smile, "The combination of elderwood and thunderbird feather, 13 inches long, with good elasticity." Before Skylar even received the wand, he felt the wand's chair, as if it were waving at him. When he held it, a slight warmth came from his fingertips, and the magic power within him immediately became active and clear. The sky outside immediately changed, and the wind and thunder began to rumble. It was so wonderful. Closing his eyes to feel, it seemed there was an unlimited energy source in his heart. Under its extension, the entire sky seemed to be saluting to him. The dense magic power network was clearly visible to him. His body felt light and floaty. It seemed that as long as he gently waved the wand, the celestial phenomena would change at his will. He gently pointed, and black lightning emerged from the tip of the wand, blooming in the shop like fireworks. The weather outside immediately turned clear, and there was no more sound of wind and thunder. "Oh, it seems I have received another highly talented little wizard. Look at what a suitable combination, Mr. Skylar. The Weasley family will be proud of you." Opening his eyes, Skylar smiled at Ollivander, thanked him for his help, and then lovingly stroked the one that was connected to him by blood. "Do you need me to pack it up?" "Oh, no need, Mr. Ollivander. I don't want it to leave my palm for a moment now, but please get me the best one seat, sir." Ollivander laughed happily after hearing this. "That's a total of 20 galleons. Welcome to come again next time." Subsequently, Dobby began to pay. When the two left the wand shop, for some reason, Ollivander chased after them again, looked at Skylar and said, "Mr. Skylar, I think I forgot to remind you that elderwood represents misfortune. I hope you can keep this in mind and not put yourself or your family at risk."